5 News at Noon starts now.
Well, today is the first day of school back for some students across our area. More on the excitement as students and teachers return to the classroom. And President Trump is deploying federal law enforcement in Washington, D.C. The latest on his efforts to target crime and homelessness in the nation's capital. Thank you so much for joining us for your 5 News at Noon. I'm Tiffany Lee here with Joshua Weisel for more on the forecast. A lot of people, they're halfway into that first day of school, Springdale schools, a few others as well. And so what do people need to know when heading out, getting ready for the bus to come back home later today?
Yeah, well, it's going to be a warm afternoon, and we've got some rain chances that could be around by the time we get later into this afternoon. For the time being, currently in the mid to upper 80s across portions of the area. Feels like 91 though, so those feels like temperatures. They're finally coming back to the area. Almost feels like 100 in Fort Smith. 92 is the actual air temperature there. Temperatures across the region, it's going to be another scorcher by the time we get to this afternoon. But there is going to be maybe a little bit of relief at times for some areas. So right now, 80s and 90s. What I mean by relief is not a whole lot. But if we get some of those pop-up showers and thunderstorms by the time we get to this afternoon, well, then maybe some of that cloud coverage and rain will help these to go away. Those feels like temperatures already in the upper 90s into the triple digits for portions of the River Valley. For the forecast for the remainder of the day, can't rule out some stray showers and thunderstorms, especially by the time we get later this afternoon to this evening. Not expecting a whole lot of widespread activity, so just keep that in mind. We are going to have some sunshine, of course, that summer heat, but there are those rain chances that will be lingering by the time we get later into this afternoon and to this evening. We'll have the latest details on that coming up, but here's just a quick little look at those rain chances I'm talking about. We'll go into this a little bit deeper into the timing and the future cast coming up.
All right, thanks for that, Joshua. Well, summer break is officially over for the largest school district in the state. Today marks the first day of classes across Springdale campuses. 22,000 students, around 3,000 staff members, and 31 schools and 45 buildings. That's what it makes up the largest school district in the state, and months of planning have led to today. The first day of school in Springdale, it's a big deal. Over the summer, the district invested about $1.5 million in facility upgrades, including new windows and HVAC improvements at several campuses. Springdale Schools Communication Director Trent Jones also highlighted that every school is now Project Adams certified, meaning staff are trained to respond to sudden cardiac arrest. Jones says the district fully supports the new bell-to-bell no-cell policy, adding that it builds on existing efforts to help students unplug during the school day. And in a district this size, Jones says it all comes down to one thing: the relationship between students and teachers.
We are the Springdale family, so what we've tried to do is create a family environment where every student can belong, every student can connect with something that matters to them. We want them to find their passion. It's called the Springdale Promise, where our adults, their sole purpose is to come in and get to know you individually.
Also, a new AI task force and brand new industrial arts building are also coming to the district. We'll talk about those later today. And here's a look at start dates for some other big districts in the area. Students in Fayetteville and Bentonville are heading back tomorrow. Students in Rogers and Fort Smith will start on Wednesday. And police are reminding drivers to be safe with more students and buses on the roads this week. Kids are excited this week and may not be paying the best attention, so it's important to be vigilant when driving around school buses. A reminder for you, you have to stop when you see a school bus with flashing lights or with its stop sign out, and put your cell phone away.
You really can't afford to drive distracted when you're driving through or anywhere around a school zone. We're talking about children who may not be that tall, and they're not very predictable. When they see they need to cross the street to get to school so they make it on time, or to that bus that they think they're running late to catch, they may dart out in the roadway.
Arkansas law says that it is illegal for drivers to use cell phones in school zones when children are present during school hours. And a reminder, breakfast is free for Arkansas students. This after Governor Sanders signed the free school breakfast bill into law. It guarantees each student free breakfast regardless of if they qualify for free or reduced meals. And a reminder, some students can qualify for free and reduced lunches through a federal program. Children from families with incomes below 130% of the poverty level are eligible for free meals through the National School Lunch Program. If you haven't filled out a form yet, you can get one at your child's school. And with school back in session, parents will be looking for healthy meal ideas to spruce up their kids' lunches. Tonight, Mandy Gaither has 6 easy and affordable suggestions to keep your student fed this year.
In the classroom, you want your child to do their best, so set them up for success before they even head to school.
We want our kids to be able to focus, and to be able to focus, we want to make sure that their bellies have something in them.
Catherine Sherry with Children's Healthcare of Atlanta's Strong for Life program says healthy meals should have protein, healthy fats, fiber, and some carbohydrates. For breakfast, Sherry says to make whole wheat toast more exciting by adding nut or seed butter and some sliced fruit like bananas and strawberries. You can also make a breakfast burrito, add some egg and veggies, maybe some avocado and a side of salsa, or make egg muffins, fill them with veggies, maybe a little meat, pair with some fruit and a slice of whole wheat toast.
You can make multiples of these ahead of time. We can put them in a freezer bag, and then we just grab one out each morning, pop it in the microwave.
You can spice up lunch boxes too. Sherry says making your own Lunchable can make it more nutritious. Roll up some low sodium lunch meat and cheese, add whole wheat crackers and some nut butter, plus a veggie and some sliced fruit. Or send them to school with some leftover pasta. Pair it with some sliced veggies and hummus to dip, along with the fruit. Chicken salad is also a healthy lunch alternative. Pair with sliced apple and some veggies and whole wheat crackers. Finally, have them wash these meals down with water.
Well, in our continuing coverage, Andrew McGann, the man accused of murdering a couple at Devilson State Park, will appear before a judge this week. McGann's arraignment on 2 charges of capital murder is set for Thursday. The prosecutor said that his office does plan to seek the death penalty. Clinton and Kristen Brink were hiking on July 26 with their daughters when they were attacked and stabbed. Both girls escaped without injury. The mayor of Prairie Grove announced a community event to honor Kristen and Clinton Brink. The family recently had moved to Prairie Grove from out of state before they were attacked at Devil's Den. On Facebook last Wednesday, Mayor David Falk announced that it will be held on September 6th. They'll be holding an auction with all funds raised going directly to the family. Well, U.S. Education Secretary Linda is set to visit Arkansas this week, part of her Returning Education to the States tour ahead of the new school year. Arkansas, Tennessee, and Louisiana are on the first stops on her schedule. Secretary McCammon says that she will tour several classrooms, highlight the work educators are leading at the local level, and hear directly from both students and teachers. She says the goal is to learn firsthand how schools are preparing for the year and to shine a light on the ways communities are shaping education. Well, Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders is set to make an announcement on the state's economic development this afternoon. It comes after signing an agreement to strengthen economic and technological ties with Israel. The move comes as the governor wraps up a trade mission to the country, which included a meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Under the agreement, Arkansas businesses and organizations will have new opportunities to collaborate on cutting-edge technology projects. They can also exchange expertise and bring innovative products to global markets. Well, President Trump says today is the day Washington, D.C. will be, quote, liberated from what he calls crime, savagery, filth, and scum. The president is ordering federal forces to the streets of Washington, D.C. to help combat crime and move out the homeless. John Small has more details from the White House.
Protesters demonstrated near the White House against President Trump's order deploying federal forces to patrol the streets of Washington, D.C.
and placing the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department under direct federal control. In addition, deploying the National Guard to help reestablish law, order, and public safety in Washington, D.C., and they're going to be allowed to do their job properly.
D.C. officials say they've already taken steps to reduce crime. Police data shows violent crime is down 26% over the last year, and homicides are down 12%.
We've done that by working with the community, working with the police, working with our prosecutors, and in fact, working with the federal government.
The president is also targeting the homeless in the city.
We have slums here. We're getting rid of them. I know it's not politically correct. You'll say, oh, so terrible. No, we're getting rid of the slums where they live.
The president's announcement comes as he's preparing for a meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin at the end of the week. The summit in Alaska was set up at Putin's request as President Trump pushes for an end to the war in Ukraine. Already a point of contention is what happens to the territory and land seized during the fighting.
There'll be some land swapping going on. I know that through Russia and through conversations with everybody. To the good, for the good of Ukraine.
But Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, who was not scheduled to attend, rejected the idea, saying Ukrainians will not give their land to the occupier. Torian Small, CBS News, the White House.
Well, Arkansas State Police grows cooperation with immigration officials. A new law requires law enforcement to assist ICE and mandates sheriffs to join a program training and officers to serve immigration warrants for those in custody. The Arkansas State Police is preparing to question and arrest people on the street under a revised ICE program. A memo of agreement says that the troopers must undergo training before they can be authorized for a 2-year term.